Do you want mine? Do you want one, Todd? Do you need one over there? You can have mine.
No, I'm good. Herb and Michael pick me up. Yeah.
The timer.
Yes, I do. Timer is what's the good thing? No idea. Classic.
Classics.
It's a good deal. It is 6.
All right. We got our list.
And they get, according to how many, they get 5 minutes, up to 30 minutes. Huh? Call me. You're right. I got a new ball. I got a new
You better load me up before you leave.
Don't worry. And then we've got to go through that election. I'm really thinking I might.
Just one, two. All right.
Look,
You ready? Boys, are you ready?
man, are you
Go
ready?
for it.
Boys? All right, we're going to go ahead and call our regular meeting of the Wayne County Board of Education to order. It's 6:01, and if you'll stand, we'll say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the record show that all board members are present in person this evening. And we'll begin our evening with the first item on our agenda, recognitions, if we have any.
We don't have any recognition scheduled, no presentation scheduled for this evening.
Perfect. All right.
Next item is the good news section, and unfortunately, with all the weathers, and there's
Not
not much good news to
going
share at
on.
this point. We're hopeful to get back in school here at some point, if not by the end of the week, by the beginning of next week, hopefully. But with the prolonged cold temperatures, it's going to be difficult. So we just continue working on it.
Perfect. All right, we'll move on to our informational items. Special meeting on Tuesday, February the 3rd, beginning at 4 o'clock at Lavalette. A regular meeting on Tuesday, February the 10th, beginning at 6 in the board conference room. A meeting on Tuesday, February the 17th at 4 at CK Elementary. And then we'll move to CK Middle at approximately 5:15. And then back at the board office on Tuesday, February 24th for a regular board meeting. Everyone okay with those dates?
Yes.
Perfect. Next item is our construction project updates.
Yeah, just a few items. The Sarita Canova Elementary School, the alumni gym project that's going on. We had an on-site visit there Friday that is progressing quickly. And the only thing we're waiting on is for some electronic parts to come in to upgrade the electricity in the basement. That should occur. We're probably looking at early March, and then they'll be able to wrap up that project. So we'll keep you updated as that moves forward. The major improvement project for a safe security entrance at Benson Middle School. There was the design meeting on that Monday, and that's getting ready to be submitted to the state for their approval. The Buffalo Needs Project, Skanska, our construction management company, has submitted comments to the architect for their review. The SBA and Department of Education have also provided comment to the architect on their review of the designs. And the next step in that process is the construction document submissions, which should be occurring here over the next few weeks. So the next step there is taking that project out to bid.
Okay.
That's all I have.
The next section is our delegations this evening, and I think we have a couple. Again, with our delegations, it's a 5-minute time limit. The board won't be able to interact or discuss any of your comments. We're just here to listen and take notes. And then if there's any follow-up, our superintendent will get in touch with you later in the week. The first one on our list this evening is Miss Mary Sword.
It's come to my attention that in addition to the several legislative bills that I mentioned at the meeting at Janelle last week, there was another one that was drawn up by several members of the board and given to legislators to bring up a chart. Why didn't they do that? They're trying to do, the board is trying to do something to stop this. But if the legislature what we ask them to do, we can stop this from happening. And I just wanted that to be known. And I wonder if they do this for and their efforts are successful, could the two schools be reopened if there are floods? That's all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the list, Mr. John Wagaman.
Yes, thank you, Governor, audience, board members, superintendent. I'm John Walkerman, Director of Elementary, Middle School, and pre-K. I just felt it was necessary for me to take a moment and speak because what is taking place or what is before us is the closing of our schools. And I wanted to be known that this is something that I have discussed for multiple years with the administrators, with the superintendent, and I think it's something that is necessary. And I want to share with you why I think that is. And the reason I think that is because of educational equity. If you think back to our communities, we talked a lot about money, and I think it's more than just money. It's not about the money, it's about the children. It's about the students and the education they're receiving. As the elementary director, as an educator, as an administrator, I'm not saying none of these teachers, the administrators in these two schools don't work their tail off every day for these students, and our county does it, our superintendent. But what I am saying is that we have communities that are shrinking. It's a lot like if you think of our youth sports. We now have football teams. I'm from the Buffalo community. When I first came here in 2000, it was unheard of to think that you didn't have all those teams, A, B, C, D, E, whatever they are. Now they can barely field teams. It's the same thing everywhere. And we're seeing it in our schools. I mean, I was the one on Facebook answering a lot of things as people put them out there, trying to clarify, never debate. If we look at Dunlow, right now at Dunlow, we don't have a pre-K. We don't have a kindergarten. We have 2 kindergarten students who attend there because we had them come. They were 5 years old. You don't have to attend kindergarten until you're 6. The parents didn't want to travel to Crum, but we didn't want to hold those children out. So we took the kindergarten teacher and put her in another position we needed, but we let those children come into the school and made arrangements for them. They attended the first grade in another split classroom because they were prepared for school, but we didn't have a teacher. Now next year at Dunlow, the way it stands, we won't have a pre-K, a kindergarten, or a first grade. Our teams are shrinking. We don't have enough players. That's why it's necessary. We also have teachers every day that are going in the classroom and teaching 2 different grades. And this is why I say it's education, it's unequal. We're asking this teacher to teach first and second graders, while this school over here, Wayne, has a classroom full of first graders. Janelle Elementary has the lowest academic achievement annually. It's no fault of the teachers, it's no fault of the parents, it's no fault of the students, but they're only getting half per se out of the curriculum because you've got 2 grades in there at the same time being taught. Our teachers struggle to come to the standards that are taking place now in a classroom. And I'm not talking about state testing. I'm talking about preparing children to be academically strong and prepared for life. So when you go to a classroom and you're in there with first and second graders that are in a spectrum completely this broad of needs, it's very, very difficult. They bust there every day. They do too. At times, where I know that city. That is not fair to those children. We built a new school in Crum, I don't know how many years ago now, $20 million school. They're almost in the same boat. They have small classrooms, 14 kids, 16 kids. Some of them are getting down to 10 or 11 children. Our teams are shrinking. We're going to lose populations there if we continue. Are we going to end up there the same thing with split classrooms in a couple of years? I don't know if you saw a Facebook post, I would, but we have 18 schools keeping these 2. If you took our student population, all of them, and broke it down, that would be 333 kids. That would be 18 Tulsa high schools. That's a small school. Tulsa High School is very, very small. When I came here 20-some years ago, I think it might have been 500, 600, I'm not sure what. Yeah. Right now, it's half of what it was 20 years ago. If we took every one of our schools and divided our kids equally, there would be 332 kids. That's all I have. I'm not saying it's about money. I'm saying it's about providing a quality education for all of our children. Putting them all in schools so they can receive the same thing. That's all I'm asking for. And I just want to put that out there. I don't think it's about the money. I think it's about providing a good quality education for them because we have it available all over our district. Provide it elsewhere.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
That's all we have. So thank you both for that. I appreciate it. Those. We'll move on to our superintendent reports.
Yeah, under the reports, there's a benchmark report, and the data has been provided in your folder. At our next meeting, we'll do a full review of the measuring success document, but I just wanted to briefly share some data with you that is encouraging. The top 2 charts that you see vertically are star reading and star math for the 24-25 school year, so that was last year. And then the bottom row is the new year, 25-26. And the most positive sign that we've seen is our math growth.
Wow.
If you look at 25 and 26, our growth from fall to winter has increased by 11%.
Good.
Last year, that number was at 5%. So that is an encouraging number. The reading score, the growth last year was at 7%. This year is at 5%. So not the same jump there, but there was a significant jump in math. And we'll get into this more specifically when we do the measuring success document. But we wanted to go ahead and share this with you this evening.
Great. Thank you. No board, any board directives or board reports? None. We have no unfinished business, so we can move on to our new business consent action items. The superintendent recommends approval of the following action items. Additional items received prior to the time of the meeting may be added. Discussion and or separate action of the items may be requested by members of the board and or the superintendent. The items are subject to change. Any blanks will be filled in prior to the meeting. In the event a nominee withdraws, we reserve the right to put the next candidate in that position.
A couple changes I need to make at the top of page 1. Under employment, the first name listed there is John Castlegrand for substitute teacher. I need to pull that for now.
Okay.
And might bring that back to you at a later date, but I just need to pull it for tonight.
Okay.
And then on page 2, the 4th item down under employment, there's Erica Wallace applied for an autism mentor aide until the return of at Fort Gay pre-K through 8. We're going to put Marion D. Markham in that position. That's Marion Markham. She will take that position. Ms. Wallace is currently working at Genoa and did not want to make that move and didn't understand that the move was to occur immediately.
Gotcha.
So she asked if I would allow her to withdraw, and so I'm going to grant that. So Marion Markham will be the new name for that position. The other thing I want to point out on this agenda, going back to page 1, Kathy Miller, who attends a lot of our board meetings, and she couldn't be here with us tonight. She's attending to some family matters, but I know she's listening online. Her resignation for retirement purposes is on the agenda, as well as Pamela Reynolds at CK Elementary and Linda Williamson at Wayne High. So there's several retirements on here. Priscilla Bryant at Buffalo Elementary, and Darlene Hancock, an 8-hour cook. And so a lot of movement there.
Yep.
And so anyway, I wanted to point out Kathy, especially since she was the state service person of the year a few years back.
All right.
So I know Kathy's listening online, and we will miss her when she's gone, along with everyone on this list.
Big shoes to fill for these ladies. All right. Any other changes that we need to, or is that it?
That's it.
Okay. So I need a motion for personnel as revised.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Johnita, second Dennis. Any other questions, concerns, discussion about personnel? None heard? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Number 2, consider for approval the purchase requisition order and quotes in excess of $5,000 on pages 4 and 5. Motion,
Motion to approve.
Johnita. Second,
Second.
Dennis. Questions, concerns? 4 and 5. This is just a food and,
To,
And Project Lead the Way supplies.
do you know what school that's going to?
that's secondary.
Yeah, it's probably being used for Wayne High School.
Gotcha.
Could be Spring Valley High School as well.
I just didn't recognize. I wasn't sure.
Got a cough.
All right. Any other questions or concerns on those requisitions? No one? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. New business, separate action items. Number 1, consider for and the possible action on the superintendent's recommendation of the closure of Dunlow and Genoa Elementary with students reassigned to Crum PK8, Eastland Elementary, and Wayne Elementary.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Johnita,
Closure.
Second.
second by Randy. Questions, concerns, discussion?
Just wanted to share some information before you voted. The first thing on the agenda list is the closure of the 2 schools. And as Mr. Wagaman said earlier, I want to begin by saying that recommendation has nothing to do Dunlow or Genoa itself or its staff.
Right.
Now, it impacts them, but as we've talked about in these hearings, these are proud schools with deep roots, and I understand that this is an emotional decision, and I understand that it's an extremely difficult decision for this board. It's been something that we've talked about since 2019. We're recommending closure for one specific reason. As discussed at the hearings, the long-term reality of declining enrollment and the structural financial pressure it creates for the entire district. Over the last decade, our district has lost enrollment, and actually it probably goes back 2 decades.
Right.
And the projections we've reviewed show continued decline for years to come. And again, as we've discussed multiple times, this is not unique to Wayne County, and it's not confined to the pandemic era or Hope Scholarship or school choice or anything that has happened in the last few years. The Cardinal Institute on West Virginia Policy, they released a report this week that indicated that many states are enrolling fewer students than they did a decade ago, and West Virginia is projected to experience one of the steepest proportional declines in the nation by the end of this decade. The report also warned, and it examined 9 counties that are under special circumstances review by the state and some counties that have been taken over by the state. The report warned that when districts delay right-sizing their footprint, the eventual corrections become more severe and more disruptive. And that's exactly the type of situation that we're trying to avoid. As we've talked about in the hearing, school systems are funded primarily on enrollment. When enrollment drops, state aid drops. This board has looked, we are in the top 5 in the state of West Virginia for our dependency on the state aid formula. It's where the majority of our revenues come from. At the same time, many costs do not drop at the same rate. We've talked about how geographically large the county is. We still need bus routes, whether there's 15 kids on a bus or 45 kids on a bus, we still have to have those bus routes. We still need kitchen coverage. We still need custodial coverage. You still need minimum staffing for safety, supervision, operations. When we have small under-enrolled facilities and we are at the point where the majority of our buildings are considered under-enrolled, the per student cost rises sharply. Not because anyone's doing anything wrong, but because the economies of scale disappear. Full classrooms and full buses are what make a system financially sustainable. Under-enrolled facilities make that much harder. We've had facilities that have been full over the years, and that provided a cushion to operate the smaller schools in the district. But as this enrollment has continued to drop, that cushion is gone. So you hear discussion about being over formula and 140 positions over formula, and that phrase can sound like mismanagement when you read it on social media. In reality, it's often the byproduct of geography and under-enrollment.
Right.
We can reduce positions, and you know this, we do this every year. Enrollment drops again, and then it just resets. The local burden just resets, and we end up chasing our tail. The longer we've done that, the more we've drawn down the financial reserves that protect students district-wide. There's been talk of technology funding, curriculum, PD funding. Those type of funding items are earmarked. They can only be used for those specific purposes. They cannot be used for the district's general fund or for any expense that the board would choose. The reserves that we're talking about that have been spent down, they matter. They matter because we have responsibilities we cannot ignore. We have ongoing facility needs across the county, safe school entries, flooring, gym bleacher replacements, and many other improvements that still need to occur. Over the past decade, this board has invested millions into our buildings: roofing, HVAC, windows, paving, painting, security, restrooms, transportation renovations, demolitions, wastewater treatment upgrades, and more. The district has spent well over $20 million in the last decade upgrading the facilities in Wayne County. We've leveraged significant SBA funding and federal relief dollars to do it. That work has improved conditions for students throughout the district and for staff, but the work remaining is extensive. We have made strategic investments that directly benefit students, opportunities that our communities ask for and deserve. Partnerships like Early College with Mount West, the aviation maintenance program up at Huntington Airport, robotics programs for K through 8 across the district, the Medical Explorers program with Marshall Health. But all these programs come with operating costs, including transportation and staffing, costs that we didn't have before when those things weren't offered, but they are important offerings. Those are the kinds of programs that keep students engaged, expand career opportunities, and help families see value in what we're doing here at Wayne County. Maintaining those opportunities requires a financially stable district. So the decision comes down to whether we can responsibly operate all facilities at current enrollment levels and still remain financially solvent now and in the years ahead. Two schools we are discussing have been under 100 students for roughly a decade. This board has supported them as long as it could, and it has. We've reached the point where continuing to operate under-enrolled facilities creates a risk not just to our reserves, but to district-wide stability and ultimately to student programs. And I'm afraid, unless something changes, that this is not going to be the last discussion we have about school closures. I want to acknowledge that we have examined other ideas, including consolidation. If I believed that consolidation would solve the underlying problem, I would recommend it. But the reality is that consolidation is likely a stopgap. If the combined enrollment rate remains below 100, or if district enrollment continues to decline as projected, we're going to face the same pressure again. A temporary solution today would become a more painful decision later. That's why I'm recommending closure this evening, because it's the most durable, responsible step in the face of the enrollment decline that we've experienced in the last decade. It's a difficult recommendation, but it is made to protect the educational future of the entire district, including the students who attend these schools today and including the staff that work at those schools today. I know it creates grief for the staff members that are involved and for the families involved. If the board moves forward with this, our commitment is to handle their transition to their new school locations with care, with clear communication every step of the way. There's no one to blame here. It's a reality that we're seeing play out across the entire state. But our duty is to maintain a strong, solvent school system and serve Wayne County students. And that's why the recommendation of closure is first up on your agenda. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Todd.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I just want to say that I absolutely hate this. I'd only been on the board a couple of months back in 7 years ago in 2019. And the closure of Genoa came up then. And I know the motion was made and it didn't even get a second. And I remember sitting there thinking, I'd be daggone 2 months into this, I'm not going to vote to close a school close to where I grew up. I grew up at Sydney, about 5 miles or so north of Genoa. I did not go to Genoa. I went to Wilson Elementary. That was a little two-room wooden schoolhouse. When I first started there, the big boys shoveled coal to put in a pot-bellied stove. We had outhouses to go to. And there were 8 grades there, 60-some students. That school closed in 1968, and I started Wayne Junior High. And it is emotional to me. I went on. I graduated from Marshall, graduated from Duke Law School, all of that. A lot of what I am, a lot of what made me, I know were those years at that little school. And I do treasure that. And if there was a way to maintain what we've got and be fiscally responsible, that's what I would like to do. But this has not been a quick, rational decision. It's been 7 years. The state essentially has spoken by its silence. They've not done anything to alleviate this situation. And I believe I'd be in violation of my duty to the entire county to oppose this at this stage. But again, I hate it.
Can I say something?
Sure.
At that time that Mr. Troutwine was talking about, I convinced the majority of the board members to oppose those closings. Because I grew up on Wilson's Creek in a one-room schoolhouse. And I remembered those fond times and the great teacher we had. And I realized how it affected communities. But at that time, we probably had a comfortable balance, probably what, 7, 8, 9 million,
Probably up around 5 million at the
5 million. In the meantime, we had promises from politicians that were in the legislature, put it off another year, everything will be fine. We'll get her done. It's still not done. And like Randy, this breaks my heart. To have to make a decision on something like this, it breaks my heart. But we all have a responsibility, and my worry is if we don't do it tonight, we'll end up in receivership and the state take over. And if the state takes over, you don't want to see that, because it won't be just 2 schools. It'd probably be what? 2 to 3 more. Correct, Mr.?
possible, yes.
Yeah, because we're on that fine line. We've tried to be economically and financially responsible to the people of Wayne County, our teachers, our parents, our students. But we've been put in an impossible situation. That's all I have to say.
I just want to say I agree with these men, and it is a hard decision, and I've been through school consolidation before, so I know what you all are feeling. And you've got to realize that, like they said, we're not doing this hastily. We almost did it in 2019. Didn't decide, well, it'll get better, and it hasn't with the enrollment drop and everything. And so I agree with what they said. It's really a hard decision to make. And we're just doing it for the students and for the school system, and to keep our budget fiscally safe is really what we're doing too.
So obviously, nobody sitting here tonight wants to do this decision. But as board members, this is what we signed up for.
Yeah.
Making those tough decisions. So just remember that when you see us out, and just understand that we're trying to do what's best for the county as a whole. So with that, this is for the consideration of closure of Dunlow and Genoa Elementary. A motion by Johnita, second by Randy. With no other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Motion carries 4-1.
Okay, since item number 1 was approved, item number 2 is not necessary, so it will be pulled.
We also would just like to let you all know that as we move forward, that we are going to make sure that this transition happens with care and responsibility and compassion. We want to make sure that every student knows that they're loved and valued and supported, and they will be taken care of. So thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for the care you've shown for our communities. But most of all, thank you for the love and the care you've shown for our students. So, moving on then to our third item on the agenda is the consider for approval out-of-state field trip request. That's Spring Valley High School speech and debate team to travel to Murray, Kentucky on January 30th through the 1st of February.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Johnita.
Second.
Randy. Any questions or concerns on that out-of-state travel?
Just a quick question. How's this funded?
Is it listed on the,
I didn't see it. That's why I was asking. How's the funding for
just
that?
taking them?
This will be county funded.
You have an estimate on how much that funding is?
The trip,
Well, altogether, because I see it says students will pay for their lunches, breakfast.
Or for breakfast is
Right, I see
free.
that, but
Yeah.
just wondering how much it was going to be. It's going to be like,
I think it would be 2,000 or under. And this is
Debate team.
Speech and
this is
debate.
the new speech and debate, and we are offering this countywide. It's based at Spring Valley. We do have a Wayne High School student that is participating, is my understanding, and we're trying to expand it to both of the schools. So there's a possibility that there will be students from other schools participating as well.
so do you know,
But it's a low number.
I was going to say, you don't know how many students there are?
Six.
Four.
I think it says 6 on here and then 3 chaperones.
Did I say, okay, maybe I was saying. Okay.
Be a good opportunity for them. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Potential items for a future agenda.
In your folder is in addition to the benchmark results, there is items on budget planning and potential cuts in addition to the closure consolidation action that was considered. There's additional cuts that are listed in there. We've talked about some of these things before. I wanted to give you a more itemized breakdown. I provided this to you by email. We'll go over this in depth more at your next meeting, and I'll probably have some edits to it. We'll probably have more information at that next meeting too, but I wanted to get it to you early so you could start reviewing it.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Jonita, second.
Second.
Randy?
Beat me, Randy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. It is 6:36. And that is all. Thank you.